Alright, so last we left off, you guys were all in the bar. And you guys were being pinned down by a guy with a heavy repeater out on the corner. If I remember correctly, Morgan was up top with a couple of stormtroopers firing from the balcony. Ghoul, Jason, Rook, and Hyde were all posted up on different doors on the second level, and this guy is just laying fire onto your position. Who has the highest sharp skill? Like, what's everybody's plus sharp?
I have +2.
I have +1.
You see, sir, you're gonna have to let me pull up my character sheet.
Because he's playing Warzone.
I'm actually not. I'm sitting here staring at my computer screen.
Actually, does this count as fighting, investigating, or pursuing?
Fighting.
This definitely counts as fighting something.
Okay.
Although right now
We're not
you're
going to
kind of
persuade
cowering.
them.
Guys, we have
Okay,
a
so
problem.
I have +2 then.
I'm looking at the screenshots of your character sheet that you sent me, Lion, and you have 0 sharp. Okay. I need everybody to please roll plus cool.
Wait a minute. I'm supposed to roll 2d6.
So I'm on experience.
Yeah, it's 2d6, guys. It's 2d6.
Oh. Well, in that case, I got 7.
6.
And here we have another example of a critical fail, ladies and gentlemen, where you roll 2d6, you get snake eyes, but your character has -1. Oy.
Nice.
Okay.
He got a nat 1 on a 2d6 roll. That's impressive.
Yes. So I need Price to mark experience on your character sheet. Morgan, mark experience on your character sheet.
Is it
Hyde,
5
mark
experience per level up or 6?
I got a 7.
I believe it's 5. Ghoul, Hyde, Morgan, Price, and then Rook. Did you roll?
I got a 7 total.
That's a partial success. Okay, I need all of you guys to take -1 harm due to the spray of lasers coming at you. If you have armor, it does not ignore armor. So if you have armor, then
Cool, I have 2 armor.
Give me a minute to look through our DMs again to find the photo and check if I have any armor.
In addition to spraying the pretty much all of you guys down, except for Rook, who manages to step back, he shoots the building, which is not made. It's made out of this stone-like material. So we're gonna see if the guy does enough damage. Ghoul, Rook, and Price, you guys are all underneath the big archway facing out into the square. The archway around you begins to crack and show signs of weakness as it gets hit with this laser barrage. Let's go ahead and start at the top. Hyde, what are you going to do, my good sir?
Last I thought I was in the back, because I went around the back to try and flank in.
Okay, like around the back of the building?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, we'll say that you spent your turn, and you had already run into the alley, so we'll say that you're coming up on the intersection, and if you hang a right, you'll be put on the street that goes straight out into the courtyard, and as you round that corner, you see the guy with the heavy repeater, and he sees you. What do you do?
I'll just kind of rush him.
Okay.
Is how I'm kind of picturing.
Okay.
Use some horns that I have naturally because of the behemoth out horns to try and knock out the revolver and hit him at the same time.
Okay, so just to make sure you know, a heavy ACP repeater is basically a Gatling gun. A
minigun.
Heavy machine
More of a
gun.
minigun, really.
Yeah.
Okay, a minigun I get. I'm gonna probably run side to side in attempts to dodge as well, but I'm going to proceed with my current path. Or is there anything nearby that I could potentially knock into him? Like, is there a box that I can just headbutt over to him?
I'll tell you what, there's a trash can on the corner of the street, kind of in that bottom left-hand corner. Right there, you're coming up from the bottom, and you could make a left-hand turn into that alleyway down there. Right there on that corner, which is right about where you are, there's a trash can.
Would that be heavy enough to knock him over?
Yes, it would, but you would need to you could throw it at him, you could run at him with it. It's all on you. So how do you want to knock him over with the trash can?
I will attempt to pick it up and then run at him with it in my hand. Or is it pick upable or?
Yes, you should be able to pick it up.
Okay. Then I'll pick it up and then run at him with it, throw it at him about halfway there to attempt to knock him off balance, and then slam into him to knock him over.
Okay,
Is all of this
so
doable?
I'm gonna. This sounds like a kick some ass roll. So I'm gonna need you to roll to kick some ass.
I got a 12, man.
You got a 12. All right.
Hell
so
yeah!
on that, in that case, you completely hold the advantage. All hunters involved in the fight get +1 forward. You suffer no harm at all. Your attack inflicts double the normal harm. Your attack drives the enemy away in a rout. Which one will you choose?
I'll be a team. Well, do I have to make sure that it's logical to the story?
Make it logical to your character.
Okay,
because that's what's interesting.
Because I can't imagine that, while I would want to benefit my team, I can't imagine that I would somehow give them all an advantage off of taking out this one guy. So I'll negate harm from this, and in my head I'll envision that the trash can is blocking the bullets, so I don't get any harm.
Yeah, and that sounds about right. So as the guy kind of pivots from his stance from shooting the building where the rest of the team was, you chuck that trash can at him. He is able to get off a couple of shots, but all of them go into the can as it flies into him and smacks him for... Oh, flying trash can's gonna do D3. Is gonna do 2 damage, 2 harm, and it smacks him. He takes a stagger back, and then he gets up. Will he recover? Yes, he will. Okay, so it is back to the people back inside. Rook, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try to see if the crumbling at the archway is going to make any collapse, or whether it's just going to like take a bit of facade off of the archway. Like, is it going to collapse the whole fucking building, or is it going to collapse just the bit around the doorway? Like,
I
how
don't
far
know.
are those cracks
Why
extending?
don't you roll plus sharp to see?
Plus sharp 2d6, right?
Yes.
It's a 5 and another 5, so plus 2, 12.
12. The archway, if it takes any more damage, it's definitely going to crumble, and if it takes a large amount of damage more, then it is going to spread to the ceiling overhead, which is an outer walkway.
Okay. Is there any cover I can move to outside?
Not really. There's a couple of there's like 1 or 2 radio pylons in the middle of the square, but they are at their thickest, they're about as big around as a large fire hydrant. One is
So not good cover.
No, not at all.
I'm gonna move back a little bit and jump over the bar to take cover behind that, so I can still have that view out, but not expose myself quite as much in the event that that archway crumbles too much.
Right. So I'm assuming you do one of those cool Starsky and Hutch slides where you just jump and slide over the counter and land in a cool pose behind it and post up.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, cool deal.
So
Describing
who's
it.
standing at the door?
Right now, Ghoul and Jason are both underneath the archway.
You two fuckers better move before that archway collapses.
They just look at each other, just nod, and then slowly move out.
Also, I will point out the fact that this is over comms because my helmet, you can't hear my voice outside the helmet. So
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna go join him because I don't want to get crushed or shot again.
So he moves. Are you gonna jump behind the bar as well, or move to a different position?
Yeah, sure, I'll join him there.
Okie dokie. Mr. John T, what are you going to do?
Cool, and I can see him from the balcony.
Kind of. You ducked back inside when you got hit with a laser blast. But you would be able to see him, yes, but you would have to kind of step out from cover and step out onto the balcony.
I'm going to use my move Berserk.
Okay.
I'm going to step out onto the balcony, and then can I shoot at him?
Yes. Please roll to kick some ass.
Mark experience.
And what do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, another 6. Okay.
Mark experience.
Okay. As you step out, what does Berserk do, by the way?
I take no damage.
Oh, okay. Then,
Well, all damage I take is delayed.
all right. Then more on that in a second. So Ghoul, go ahead and go. What are you gonna do?
I am following the two people who just ran away from my positions. I'm gonna follow after them so I don't die.
Sounds like a.
Are you following us behind the bar or behind the table to the left? Because you are on the left side. So you'd have to cross over the archway and get shot at if you want to go to the bar.
I don't give a shit. I'm going to the bar.
And
So it's going to be packed as fuck back there.
Here's what we'll do. And Mr. Morgan, please read the entirety of that move. Like, what is the move description?
No matter how much harm you take, you can always keep going until the current fight is over. During a fight, the keeper may not use harm moves on you and you cannot die. When the fight ends, all harm takes effect as normal.
Holy shit.
All right, then, Mr. Morgan, we're going to start a tab for you. And I will announce to you just how much damage you've taken at the end of the fight. So this is gonna be fun. We're gonna.
Please keep note, I do have 2 armor.
As you step out, Morgan, and then Ghoul is running as well. Ghoul, as you run to take cover behind the bar, the rebel with the repeater prepares to levy a shot at you as he sees you move, but then Morgan steps out and begins firing. Morgan, you missed your shots, and he readjusts and just lays a volley into you. And as he does that, he hits the building and the balcony around you. And as he hits the balcony, it starts to crumble and fall. And the archway underneath you gives out, and you fall a story as the overpass over this interior of the bar just collapses because the arches and supports have been shot out, which is going to do not that much. Never mind. Okay. Okay. So you are. To paint the scene, Hyde, you are now at the corner of the bar because you ran a little bit before you yeeted the trash can. Morgan is laying in a pile of rubble, and Ghoul, Price, and Rook are just kind of staring out from behind this bar, looking over Morgan through the dust at this rebel that is wearing just this. I don't know if I went into a lot of detail about him. This rebel is like 6.5, 7 feet tall, bulky, and as the smoke clears, are any of you alien hunters? Like, how many of you have like? I know some of you guys are like strictly clones, but Rook knows this one, so I'm gonna give him this one as kind of a freebie, or I'm gonna give him advantage on this. But does anybody else have experience?
I'm confused.
Yeah, you won't be here in a second.
Okay.
Does any?
Oh, you're gonna drag us to chat.
I'm an ISB undercover agent, so I would assume I have knowledge of races if that's what you're meaning.
Okay.
I may or may not have had a mission that has required me to do that.
Are you relying on me to have that knowledge or no?
You know, I just kind of left you the creative freedom of allowing my Dark Master over me, so I'm gonna say
Okay,
that's up to you.
then
'Cause as far as I'm aware, I've been set on multiple missions before. I don't know
okay,
what
then
they are. I will
yes,
create more later.
then you will have
I'll
knowledge of
create-
this one too. So
I'll create a
need
few like backstory missions later.
yeah, and I'll help you if you want, but Ghoul, Rook, Hyde.
Are you asking me?
Yes. Are you a standard trooper or are you? I thought you were like a hired gun.
Yeah, he's hired.
Okay. Then all of you except Jason roll plus sharp. Okay. Here is what all of you remember about your interactions with Trandosians.
Oh fuck.
Oh shit.
Here's what you
only
guys
throw-
remember about your interactions with Trandosians. Rook, you've had a particularly nasty relationship with these boys, especially since the Trandosians were heavily involved in
Camino.
planets that
No, not Camino.
no, they were heavily
what is the
involved
planet?
in any kind of slave trade, and through your missions as a Republic commando, you had plenty of missions where you were sent to liberate species. One such would have been the planet of Kashyyyk.
Yeah, that's the
where
one I was
you
thinking of.
fought alongside Delta
The
Squad
Wookiees.
in secret. And liberated Wookiees and helped the resistance against the Trandosians. Morgan, you have fought alongside and against some of the more fearsome Trandosians. You remember, in particular, one nasty one that went by the name of Bosk. But you remember that they are not a species to be trifled with. Ghoul, you remember having a particularly nasty run-in with a group of slavers that had taken some supplies that belonged to the Empire, and you had to you had to deal with them accordingly.
Are Trandosians strictly rebels?
No.
No,
Normally they're
are.
mercenaries.
Yeah, they are normally mercenaries, which means the rebels are probably paying this one. This
Oh, aren't
Trandosian in particular, you can see that his scales are kind of a sickly green. His eyes are just this blood red, and he has this almost gas mask like apparatus over his face, over his mouth, and he's just the mental image I'm drawing from is a heavy Trandosian from the Republic Commando games. Those guys were not fun to deal with. But
No, they
that is
weren't.
basically what you're dealing with right now. Is a Trandosian with a heavy ACP repeater. Which, I mean, fun fact, Star Wars history. The Trandosians were notorious for carrying those as well as regular ACP repeaters. Shut up. Okay. And slug throwers, but I digress.
Is that 'cause I
So
called you a nerd?
this guy, as the dust clears,
This fucker.
yeah. As the dust clears, and you see Morgan stir and pick himself up, this heavy Trandoshan prepares another volley. Hyde, what are you gonna do?
Enlighten me, Sigma. With the damage I got, or the immunity from damage I got from the one roll that I rolled a 12 on, how long does that last?
1 turn.
Oh no.
Oh yes. And as a
Um,
matter of fact, he's not very happy that you chucked a trash can at him, and you are the biggest threat to him, so he is looking in your general direction.
which one of my allies, and I'm asking more or less you guys as opposed to Sigma here, which one of you guys is the most open to come and assist right now?
Do we have a gap over the collapsed archway?
I mean, okay, so if any of you want to traverse the rubble, I'm gonna have you act under pressure, which is a plus cool.
Well, I was
Except
thinking I was
for-
gonna rush up and use the actual rubble as cover
Oh yeah, no, you
and
can
try
do
to
that.
snipe his ass.
Okay.
You can do that.
So Trap, you think you can or Rook, I'm sorry. If you think you can snipe him, then I'm gonna use comms to alert you. And I'm gonna go be bait, and I'm gonna hope the Trap has the freedom to get over there and take a buckshot, and I'm likely gonna take damage here, but I'm taking it for Trap.
Oh yeah, you're gonna take some damage. So this actually,
I will attempt to dodge it, but I'm going to try and get this guy's attention, and I want him to be looking at me and give Fries the freedom to take a good shot.
Okay, so here's the choice that I offer to you. You can act under pressure.
Oh wait, hold up, I'll just delete that. Or if I choose to do that, I will take that roll. I didn't look at what it is. I'm sorry. I have not looked at it. I don't know what it is.
That's probably for
I
the best.
closed Discord.
You can either act under pressure and take. If you fail, you're gonna take a -1. If it's a mixed success, you're going to take +0, and if it's a complete success, you will take +1 to protecting someone, which will negate all harm taken by Rook if the guy attacks Rook. If you want to just do a standard protect someone without the bonus, then you can do that. I'll leave it up to you.
I'll do the standard. Protect someone.
Just protect someone?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's probably for the best. Go ahead and roll plus tough.
Sigma.
And I take a
Nope.
look at the window, and it's another 6. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. You run up, and Rook, you said you were running up to the rubble to take a shot at this guy, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll to kick some ass.
Can I use precise strike as well?
Which will do what?
When you inflict harm on a monster, you can aim for a weak spot, roll plus tough. On a +10, you inflict +2 harm. On a 7 to 9, you inflict +1 harm. On a miss, you leave yourself open.
Okay, so an additional +1. Okay, so on a 7 to 9, you or whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other. The amount of harm based on the established danger. Okay, so go ahead and roll. You rolled plus tough. What weapon are you attacking with, and how much damage does it do?
Sniper attachment, and I have no idea.
Sniper attachment?
I'm assuming 3, but I don't really know.
Yeah, it does 3. We're gonna say it pierces, and he's looking real bad
3
off.
+1 because of precise strike.
Okay.
So it'd be 4 total.
Then here's what we'll do. Precise strike, and you're aiming for a weak point, right?
Yeah. I'd be aiming for his neck or something. Something
All right.
soft.
Yeah. So here's what here's what I'll do. Okay. All right. So because Hyde failed on his roll, make sure you mark experience, by the way, if you didn't already.
Thank you for-
Okay, that's that for Hyde. It's that for Rook. Yeah. Okay. You know what? This is okay. So not only does this Trandoshan levy a volley of lasers so that both of you take 2 damage. And Morgan, I should ask, are you trying to get up out of the rubble this entire time or no?
Yeah.
Are you just laying there? Okay, you take 1 stray damage, which I mean it doesn't do anything because of your armor, but a stray bullet bounces off of you. But Hyde and Rook take 2 damage, 2 harm. And then Rook, I need you to roll plus cool.
8.
Oh. Okay. So because Hyde was trying to be bait and didn't do a very good job of it, he ran forward. He soaked up 2 points of that volley. And you
So
took
I still
2
took
points.
2.
Say what?
I still took 2 points of damage then?
Yes, it would have been 4 points all on you, but he took
Oh,
2.
You're
But he got in the way.
Thank you.
So here is your price to pay.
I have to take more damage.
You're either gonna go through Hyde or you're gonna miss. What are you gonna do?
Go through me. It's fine.
He said it. Not me. I
Okay.
mean, I've done it in
I
Tarkov.
was sitting there going like,
Walk in front of
"What do
you,
you
and
think for
you're
your
about to
buddy?"
take a shot, and you just end up pulling the trigger on him. So that's realistic. Like,
Okay. So you pull the trigger. The bullet, it'll do 2 damage it'll do 1 damage ignoring armor to Hyde as it clips through his shoulder and then slams into the Trandoshan. And because somebody was in your way, it did not strike as critically as it could have. So while it did a lot of damage, it did not kill him.
Gee, couldn't have been a better
The
shot.
Trandoshan is still up, and Jason, Morgan, and Ghoul still need to go. So
Hyde
Jason,
just hears over his comms. You fucking idiot!
He hears over his comms. You couldn't have landed a better shot. God damn it!
Jason, what are you gonna do?
Who's around this giant lizard person?
Hyde is a good 15 feet away from him, maybe 10, 15. So
I was gonna fire a missile at the guy. So
Go ahead. Everybody else is taking shots.
I mean, I have a gunship that has weapons.
That's awesome.
So I might just
I
do that.
realize I haven't put any harm into my phone since I've gotten the opportunity to. So I've taken a total of 3 harm, correct? Maybe 4?
if you have
One harm
natural
from
armor,
earlier.
was that including natural armor or no, Hyde?
I don't know. I was asking you.
I think it's 3 with the addition of the natural armor. So what are we doing, Mr. Price?
I mean, if he needs a medic, I can treat him.
I mean, I've taken 3 damage. I mean, I'm a tank. Or
Well-
at least a bruiser.
How much more can you take?
4? I still have
What?
natural armor. I mean, I'm kind of fine, but if you want to come heal me, I'll take it.
How about this? How about I just blow the shit out of that guy with a missile, then you run over to me and I'll make sure you don't die.
So here's all right, here's what we're gonna do. If you're gonna mark it for your gunship to take him out, then we're gonna say that it's gonna take 1 turn rotation for the gunship to spin up and do a rapid
already in the air.
response. Say what?
It's already in the air.
No, well, I mean, it'll be in the air in just a second as soon as you call it in, but they
No, he
landed.
came in on it.
Wait,
Yeah, I
Wouldn't it
know,
be in
but
the
you
air
guys
because
landed
it
to
dropped
offload,
us
so.
off?
Say what?
Yeah, it wouldn't just leave though. It'd still be flying around.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you didn't park
It's in a
it.
holding pattern.
It's in a holding pattern? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Are you going to warn your team before you call in an airstrike?
Please.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them.
Not again.
Yeah, okay, sure. I'll let them know.
All right.
Oh, how gracious.
Let's hear a character voice.
I mean, I
for-
assume he would be calling it in over Imperial comms, and we would probably hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
So let's hear let's hear some kind of dialogue.
Okay. This is TK8412 requesting close air support. Sorry, I've been drinking. On the courtyard.
You've been drinking on the job? What kind of a trooper are you, man?
Dude, we're in a bar. Excuse me, man.
Look, if I can drink, I'm gonna drink. Close air support on the Trandoshan.
Roger
in
that.
the
Mark
courtyard
with
of
laser,
Mr.
and we will be inbound.
All right. So he's gonna do that.
Alrighty. Cool deal.
Well,
You
while this is happening, can I try to yoink Morgan out of the rubble pile I'm taking cover behind
Yep.
and drag him back
Act under
inside?
pressure. Or wait, no. This would be a protecting. Make a case. Is this acting under pressure or protecting someone?
I have the same on either one, so it doesn't matter.
Make a case. Are you acting under pressure or protecting someone?
I am acting under pressure because I'm gonna have to get up on the rubble pile to
Very
get him
good.
out.
Okay, roll plus cool, please.
8.
Ooh, okay. Morgan, are you gonna try and help him out or?
Yeah, I'll help him out.
Okay, roll plus cool to help out.
8.
Oh dear.
Don't worry, I'm
Is
bulletproof.
anybody else gonna help Rook try to pull Morgan out of the pile of rubble? Like Price is already doing something, and Hyde is kind of distracted. So Ghoul, are you gonna try and help pull
Yeah,
Morgan out?
I'll help. I'll help you.
All right, roll to help out.
8.
An 8. Okay. All right. So
You're a
you guys,
fucking mess.
all right. So here's how this scene plays out, and Hyde, I think it's safe to assume you would have heard that airstrike come in over comms. What are you gonna do to try and evac the area?
Are there any trash cans nearby?
There's the one that you threw at him, but it's kind of off to the side.
How far away is it?
Good 20 feet away.
A trash can is not gonna protect you from a missile, but okay.
How much time do I have before this missile, blows me to smithereens?
Seconds.
Yeah, you can either
Yeah,
try
sounds
this
about right.
sick move or get out and negate a lot of the damage.
How much damage am I gonna take from an explosion?
That's for me to
Too
know
much.
and
Fuck
you to
ton.
find out real fast if you stay in the AO.
Just run to us.
But he'll
You
stay here. But if I run, he knows something's coming.
You could always go down in a blaze of glory.
I mean, he's already kicked your ass, so.
Yeah.
Well, let's
There's
put it
that
this
too.
You're
way,
just running
Hyde,
away
if
from
you've
him.
taken 3 damage, you are not bleeding yet. You have taken the maximum amount of damage a hunter can take before they are marked as unstable and bleeding, which is a mechanic in this system that if you take more than 3 damage, so when you take your 4th point of damage, you mark unstable and your condition gets worse. So the way I'm going to treat that is I'm not going to do like a bleed timer unless I think it's important. Like if you got hit with a blaster bolt, I'm not going to make you start bleeding from a blaster bolt because the wound instantly gets cauterized. But like if you were to get stabbed with a very large knife or a horn or something like that, then yeah, you'd start bleeding out. But I will take the initiative if I think it will benefit the story, or if you think it will benefit the story, you can also take the initiative to make your condition worsen when you are unstable, and you will take additional damage to any damage you accrue after you mark unstable. So you're currently in the green. You haven't started fading into that unstable portion yet. So if you want, it would be risky trying to stay there, but if you want to do it, like it's all on you.
Can I point behind him, say something, roll to see if I fool him, and then proceed to roll and
Oh
run?
my gosh.
Yep, go ahead and roll plus charm to try and manipulate him.
Can I quickly check if I have charm first?
Say what?
Nothing.
He's
Oh.
checking his character sheet to see if he has charm. Or negative charm. I bet it's a -1.
Yeah, it's -1 somewhere else.
On a 79.
Character death on the second session.
Hey, Sigma.
So the
I
way
love
that this
love.
works is on a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right then to show that you mean it. So convince me that there is something behind me.
I leveled up. Can that be my option?
No. No, it cannot.
I'm gonna look really hurt, which is probably the first time I'm attempting to look hurt. Because Hyde probably normally tries to look tough. So I'm probably gonna look hurt and scream.
Guards, get him now!
What?
I said guards get you now.
Guards get him, and okay, so you yell that, and he looks behind him just for a split second,
And I'm bolting.
yeah, you're bolting. You weren't as convincing, and he's going to fire one last laser volley. So I need. Okay, so a lot of things happen all at once. Jason, what is the name of your gunship? Like, do you have a call sign for it or anything like that?
Sophie.
I certainly do not.
Over comms, all of you guys hear.
This is Dropship Romeo 1-1 coming in for requested air support on laser target.
And you hear the blast of 2 missiles being fired at this Trandoshan. As this comm comes in and those missiles get fired, that Trandoshan rolls out
Wait
one
a
last
second.
volley.
Where are our
of...
stormtroopers in all this?
Oh yeah, I
I'm glad
forgot
you
about that.
asked.
With Morgan. They were with Morgan.
So
Oh, no.
he rolls out one last volley
just killed
of
a bunch of
lasers,
people.
and oh my god. Okay.
Oh, hell.
Oh, that's not
That's not good.
That's not good. Oh, that's not good.
Sigma, you fuck me with the roll.
I don't think it's just you this time, man.
One last volley. Okay. He aims more for the cluster of people, as Rook and
Oh shit.
Ghoul try to get Morgan out of the pile of rubble. So as the missiles get fired down, the lasers get fired. Hyde takes 2 damage with the -1, so he took a total of 3.
Again?
-1. So he took 2 additional damage. Morgan, you were being hauled up by both arms. So, like, Ghoul had grabbed one arm, Rook had grabbed the other, and they were pulling you up by the arms, and all 3 of you just got laid into. But Rook was able to pull you guys back, but Morgan just got laid into, as did Ghoul. Some shots clipped you for 3 damage, but I don't know what your armor's like. So you said you had.
I have 2 armor.
Well, Morgan has 2, but Ghoul has 1, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take 2 damage. And the missile hits the Trandoshan for, where did I? Hold on, there it is. The missile hits the Trandoshan for. Okay.
23 damage.
Okay, that's the first missile.
Good one, everyone. Next stop, JoJo.
Okay. So the first missile hits the area for 15 damage, and the second missile hits the area for a total of 11 damage. Let's see how contained these missile blasts are. These missiles are fairly small, well contained. We're going to say that Hyde, you don't take damage, but you are blasted back with a wave of force and fall against the rubble of the building. And you are either, I'll let you choose, semi-conscious or fully unconscious. Like, you're not dead, but the force of the blast just sent you flying back into this building. So
I'm gonna say it's gonna take a little bit more to knock me fully unconscious, but I'm gonna stay semi-conscious. But I'm damn glad that I didn't take any damage because I don't know if I could take it.
you probably couldn't have. So you are very, very disoriented.
All right, you guys get a
Everybody
drunk eye.
else is, let's see, everybody else is kind of staggers back after being hit with the wave of force coming off of this missile, or these two missile blasts. And as the dust settles, that entire corner area of the map is completely obliterated. The buildings have collapsed, but in the middle of this very small, condensed crater is the corpse of a heavy Trandoshan.
I'm going to turn to the group. So whose bright idea was it to shoot us with fucking missiles?
Morgan, you're not able to say that. As a matter of fact, you get out, so who's, and then you collapse as the 6 points of harm take effect. You were 1 harm away from dying once the combat ended. So, Morgan is in
damage of that was
critical.
from that missile.
As a matter of fact, you probably would have just been better off if you'd just laid in the rubble. The blast wave would have gone over you, you wouldn't have been hit by the Trandoshan, you'd be fine.
I probably should have.
Shoulda, woulda, couldas. But
Well, there goes my plan. I was gonna steal his gun.
Can you still do that? I don't know how durable Star
Yeah.
Wars guns are.
I mean, you can
there's a
pick
body,
up
you can.
pick up the pieces and try to reassemble it later, but I don't know if that thing would withstand 2 missile blasts.
I mean, if the body survived, the gun probably did.
Yeah.
But did the body survive?
He said there was a corpse
extremely
laying
mutilated. The armor did. The person inside the armor,
Not so much.
No, not so much.
I mean, you can still steal its armor.
This is true.
Use that. Keep you alive. So you
I
don't fucking
could,
die
but it's going to
again.
be too big for anybody else.
Yeah, no, it
It'll
could
keep
fit on
him
Hyde
alive.
rather nicely. So Hyde could.
Can I get healed, please?
I don't know how to do
What
that,
am
man.
I healing, huh?
You ain't dying.
hit you in my
You
turn.
said, how about I heal? You can just come back over to me and I'll heal you real quick. And I said, that sounds great. And then you go in an airstrike on me.
Rook
Okay.
says overcomes.
So
12. Call the fucking heli. Call the medevac in and let's get out of here.
there's not really a need to call in a medevac because the gunship that you guys have on standby that was doing
Yeah, that's what I mean.
holding pattern
That is our medevac.
is holding right above you guys because I mean it just airstruck the square.
Well, in
you
that
guys-
case,
You guys load.
Price, have them land because he hasn't told them to yet.
You guys get the gunship on the ground. You load. I assume Hyde and Morgan are loaded into the medevac to be transported back to base.
I'm gonna try and take that armor for later.
Okay, take the armor and take the gun.
Yeah. What about our stormtrooper casualties? What do we got?
Acceptable losses.
Well, I'm talking more
Good
about his
job.
gear
Some of you
'cause
may die.
those are
Um,
military grade gear.
Yeah,
need
so
those.
you guys,
We
if
need
I
those.
remember correctly, you lost. I think you lost like 3, and they were over to the right-hand side in kind of that right-hand part of the courtyard, towards the top right, that open space. They got
I
jumped
assume
by Imperial or rebels.
I assume we're just loading the bodies because we don't need the rebels getting their gear.
Pretty
That's
much.
up to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we load the
Is
bodies.
there anything you guys want to do before you leave other than that?
Well, considering I'm unconscious, I can't do anything. Because someone called an airstrike on me.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
don't feel guilty
technically
about
the airstrike isn't what killed you. The Gatling laser is what got you.
Oh, what about the rebel bodies?
They are scattered throughout. The ones that were closer to the Trandoshan are.
We can call in a cleanup crew.
Yeah, you can do that. If you
The
want.
problem is though, if it depending on how long it takes, they could already be gone.
Well, then I'll contact our
we'll
liaison and get them inbound now.
Yeah, we'll say that you guys hang around for a good 3-5 minutes. Response time is fairly quick. Before another squad rolls in for cleanup. As you guys is that it? Are you guys gonna ship out
I mean,
now?
I'm gonna make sure nobody dies on the way, but other than that, yeah, I guess.
Okay. As you guys lift off, you see out of the rubble of the bar, like the bar is not reduced to rubble, but out of the bar steps the Twi'lek bartender that had been behind the bar the entire time that you guys had been having this firefight. He's brushing broken glass off of himself as he looks up at you as you fly off, and he narrows his eyes at you and then walks back inside.
I mean, he was there when we just randomly got attacked, so
Droid.
We should kill him.
That was bar.
they opened fire on us first. We didn't shoot them. So he saw all that. So would he still not like us?
That remains to be seen.
I guess he would be a rebel then.
Don't know about
at least
that.
a lookout.
You'd have to.
Well, the fact that he was even around would signify something. 'Cause yeah, it's his place, but when you get shot at, not a lot of people want to get shot at.
Yeah.
So, if the fighting was near the archway, he could have easily slipped out the back. So why did he stay?
You'd have to go back and question him at some point, which we can do a
I
segment.
turn the plane around.
We have an ISB agent that can do that for us.
Yep.
Yep. So a very talented ISB agent.
Let's
I
have.
don't know about that part.
I've got the
As I
skills of a
see
stormtrooper in a
Twilight
fight,
come out of
but
the bar as we're taking off, I contact our liaison and say, and have the cleanup crew bring the Twi'lek bar owner back to base too.
Ooh. Okay. He radios back and says,
Right, and in what capacity are we bringing back this guest?
As a guest, not a prisoner.
Copy that. I will relay the information to the team.
10-4. Out.
you guys are back at base now. We're going to say that for this next part, Morgan has recovered and Hyde has recovered as well. You guys basically finished the mission, which is good. So let's go ahead and before we move on to this kind of interim and final briefing, let's go over some things. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions and we'll see how you guys did. So did you guys conclude the current mission or mystery, it says. So you guys were sent there to find rebel activity. Did you find rebel activity?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
I'm still looking for him. I never gave up.
All right, cool. Never gave up. All right, so did you save someone from certain death or worse?
Does Morgan count?
No, Morgan would have been fine if he just laid there in the rubble.
I mean, we saved the Twi'lek because his. But then again, we were also the ones that put him in danger, so.
Hell no, we don't save anyone.
No. Did you learn anything new and important about one of the hunters? Did we learn anything special about backstory or anything?
I have the aim of a stormtrooper, if that counts.
No. Not,
Okay, never mind.
Really.
I don't think anything else.
I'll throw you guys a bone, I guess, and say that we learned that a lot of you have had previous interactions with Trandosians. Everybody mark 2 experience points. So we're gonna do 2 separate scenes. We're gonna do an overall briefing scene with all of you guys, and then who wants to be in on the questioning of the Twi'lek?
Me.
Like, do you all want to be in on it or no?
I think
I'll
whether
be
we
in.
all should.
Everyone can at least be present if everyone's not in the same room. Like
I
one day
won't,
type thing.
but I will tell them before they go into the room to be gentle, and hearts and minds is our friend here.
Hearts and
I'm
minds.
a giant, like I look like a boulder. What do you want me to be? Go and hug him?
No,
know what?
don't be a dick.
Don't be a scare bear, be a care bear.
I look like a dick. I'll still hug him.
You son of a bitch, Sigma.
Okay, so Ghoul, Morgan, and Hyde, you all want to interrogate Price. Do you want to be in on the questioning? It's not an interrogation, it's a questioning.
If no one else does, I guess, sure. Not.
Oh my god.
No, Hyde, Morgan, and Ghoul all said that they wanted in, so we'll say that you and Rook. Okay, so all right, here's the scene. So the Twi'lek is sitting in a room, much like a room in one of the like a modern police station for us, where there's one-way glass. Rook and Price are both chilling behind said glass, watching the Twi'lek. And behind them stand Ghoul, Morgan, and Hyde. And Rook, you turn to Morgan, Ghoul, and Hyde, and you say, "Remember, hearts and minds. Try not to kill him." And Ghoul, I'm going to assume that you take the lead on this, but do you want to go first? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you going to like?
I can let someone else. I can kind of gauge reactions on different things. So.
I'll go first.
All right. So you walk into this room, and the Twi'lek turns to look at you, and his eyes widen a little bit, and he says, "Oh, hello. Hi. Could you please tell me why I am here? I have done nothing wrong. I was at the bar when the Imperials started defending themselves. It was like I told the guards, it is all a big misunderstanding. I am not a rebel."
I'm not here to say that you're a rebel.
Then why am I here? I feel as though I am a prisoner.
No. You're a guest.
With that voice.
That Forgive
like
me,
it.
but
It's
you
going
do not reassure me at all.
Why? Because I'm big?
No. As a matter of fact, I think you are very cuddly.
I told those guys out there you wanted to hug.
Rook just puts his hand on his helmet.
So at this point, the Twi'lek is like trying to scooch his chair away from Hyde.
You're not as a prisoner. We just have a few questions along the lines of what we saw as we were leaving, some things as before it started, as it started, and some things about your droid that we found that was actually hacked by the rebels.
I forgot about that.
Oh yes, it was a great shame that my droid was affected as such. What questions do you have that I may answer?
Well, I would like to start with a hard-hitting question. As we were taking away, from my cabin's looked out the side and saw you walk out as a shameful of your store, wipe off some glass, but you looked at us with your arms crossed and shook your head almost aggressively like you didn't like us. Can I ask why?
You know that I just watched my bar get blown up, yes. And my shop was destroyed. And while I know you were just defending yourself, there is something that makes me think that most of this would not have happened if neither the rebels nor yourselves had just been there in the first place. If everybody would just leave my shop alone, it would be fine. But no, nobody leaves.
Can I tell if he's lying?
Nobody leaves us alone. Can you tell if he's lying?
Mm-hmm.
That's not
Go
him.
ahead and roll to investigate a mystery, which is plus sharp.
6.
Mark experience.
Can I try?
You take that new move just in time to fail with it. Good job, buddy.
Can I try to read, or it wouldn't be reading a bad situation. It'd be investigating a mystery. You said because it's personal
Well,
skills.
you would have to interact with this. You would have to interact with the Twi'lek if you wanted to do that.
Okay, never mind then.
Ghoul is in a unique situation currently. You want to tell him what you took for your level up, or you want to leave it for later?
Leave it for later.
Okie dokie. Leaving that ace in the hole. Okay, so Hyde, what was the last thing you said to him?
I asked him why he shook his head and crossed his arms, and he responded.
Because I was unhappy and I did not. I was shaking my head in disappointment that I was shaking my head in disappointment. I don't know what a natural reaction to having your place of business that you have worked hard to establish. Do you know how hard it is to establish a business in a place like this? It is very, very hard, and I have worked very hard.
Well, I don't get the pleasure of fully understanding. I can sympathize.
I would hope so. Now, can I leave, or do you have more questions?
There are a few more questions. Not all of them are bad, don't worry. But, let's talk about your droid, the thing you didn't have an issue about. No, there's no way for you to have ever known that your droid would ever be hacked, but when could that have happened?
I have no idea when my droid could have been tampered with. I am not in my establishment 24/7. I am a hard worker, but I am not that hard of a worker, if you know what I mean. I have an assistant that comes in on a regular basis to watch the place whenever I am not there. Perhaps they saw something. I would be more than happy to put you in touch with this person.
Hyde will. Obviously, he knows that this is fake. But I'm asking the question to kind of cover all bases, especially with Leo and his fun story. So I'm gonna look at the glass and wave or wherever I think these people are.
Who are you waving to?
Oh, no, nothing to worry about. There's a droid out back. It just records our conversation. Nothing to worry about. And I was just waving at it and down back so I can get in contact with your assistant and see what they know.
Yes. Alright. Can I go now?
No. One more question. Rebels don't just come and attack. They are devious little idiots. But they planned in advance and knew we were coming. Is there anybody, whether it be you or your town, that may know of how they got in contact with that planet?
I honestly don't know. There are several unsavory characters, as there always are when managing a business in a spaceport town. Um, I unfortunately cannot keep track of them all. If I could, most certainly, uh, I would most certainly make sure that the Empire was aware of them. But I, I don't know. For all I know, somebody might have tipped them off that you were coming in, or it could have been a spontaneous thing. I am proud of my establishment, but I am not very proud of the part of the city in which it is established. Several unsavory people hang around just in general, so you, to be perfectly honest, you all might have just simply kicked the hornet's nest, as it were.
Well, if we're kicking a hornet's nest, you had to know that there was a hornet there in the first place if you lived there.
Can I interrupt Hyde at this point?
Yeah, do you want to step into the room, or?
I thought I was already inside with him.
Oh, yep.
How are you? Like friends.
Wait, also, for this, I was wanting to see if I could get an Imperial officer uniform. Like, possibly Lieutenant officer uniform.
I thought you were already wearing one.
No, he was in a stormtrooper officer.
Yep. I just want like an Imperial officer uniform for this.
Imperial officer or ISB?
Imperial officer, like a Imperial military officer.
Yeah, go for it.
So I kind of want to put my hand on Hyde's shoulder and go, thank you, Hyde. If I could take it from here, sir?
Alright. Have a good day, my friend. Would you like that hug before I go?
Perhaps some other time.
I'll drop by some other time then. Thank you for inviting me.
And with that, I walk out.
Oh my god.
He didn't invite you.
The hug there. Jeez.
I'm just gonna kind of watch Hyde leave and then turn back to the guy. I'm very sorry about that. He insisted on coming in here first. There's a couple questions we have for official reasons only, just to kind of fill out reports and stupid paperwork. But one of them I need to know, have there been any Trandoshan or mercenary activity in the area recently?
No, not that I have seen. I usually have the usual come through. I would know if any Trandoshans came through my place, and I have not seen any Trandoshans come through. Normal humanoids, cyborgs, a couple of Rhodians have come through, but there's nothing like the Trandoshans. No.
Okay, can I see if he's lying?
Can you see if he's lying? Is that what you just asked? I couldn't hear you over
Yes.
high modulator.
He was lying.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Go ahead and roll.
God damn it!
Wow. Big oof. Snake Eyes +1 is a 3. Mark experience again. Y'all are really intelligent and on top of things. Okay.
I just wanted the experience, honestly.
Oh my god. All right. So he says, no, there's been no Trandoshan activity. I don't see how that goes on paperwork, but okay.
Well, from the reports on the ground, there was a Trandoshan mercenary that was the leader of the attack on our soldiers. So I just need to verify that aspect. And then, lastly, I believe that Is there someone who has knowledge of all incoming, outgoing starships? Like, would that be who would I need to contact for a roster of that?
You mean like a manifests, like shipping,
Yes.
or travel logs? All of that?
Both. Both of them. Any that would not be in Imperial records.
So you're looking for more streetwise knowledge and less government, like actual records.
Correct.
You see, I'm gonna have you roll plus charm to try and convince him, because this seems like
Yeah, good roll.
nice. Oh, 11 on a 10 plus. They'll do it for the reason you gave them. You're gonna have to give them a reason. If you ask too much, they'll tell you the minimum it would take for them to do it, or if there's no way they'd do it. So you've asked for it. Like, I need you to rephrase kind of.
Is there a possibility for starships to come in outside of Imperial records? And if so, is there someone who would know about this?
He nods slowly and says, "There is, but I would need to, like, I would not be. It is not easy to get in contact with this person. I can definitely point you in the right direction and possibly set you up with a meeting, but I would need some time, and I would need some credits, and I would need a plausible reason to set up this meeting."
I believe we have an agent on premise who can pass as a smuggler who needs to get some weaponry out under the radar. Is that a good enough reason?
He nods and says, I think I can swing that. But know that if you approach this person and she thinks anything is fishy, you will never see her again, and you will most likely have a very, very difficult time in future endeavors such as this. So I highly recommend that your agent does their job well.
Thank you for the heads up. I will inform my superiors and we will go from there. I will give you a call if we decide to go ahead with this plan, and that call will be sometime probably before the day is out.
He nods. Thank you. May I go now? I still have to clean up my shop and see if anything is salvageable.
Yes, I'm so sorry it took as long as it did. Thank you so much for your time. You may go. The trooper at the doorway will show you back to your ship.
Thank you very much. And so he leaves.
Great.
Okay, so later that day, you guys are all in the briefing room of your compound. Or not compound, you're all in the briefing room of your section of the base, and a officer walks in. It's Officer Tash, your correspondent or liaison, whatever you want to call him. And he nods to you all and says, "Good day. We have acquired information about the resistance in this area." Tash approaches the console and he punches in a code, an access code, and slips in a disk, and an image of a Miraluka appears in front of you on the holo table. All of you guys are
just like a blind Jedi.
No, blind
it
Sith.
is no, they were
Yes.
so a Miraluka is a blind force user. They are humanoid in all aspects, with the exception that they do not have eyes. Like it's not like they've been taken out. It's not like it is like they were born without eyes, and where their eyes would be, it's just face. And the way that they see is they see through the Force. Tash gestures to this humanoid-shaped figure with a blindfold across his face and a hood draped over his head, and he motions to this figure and says, "This is, for all intents and purposes, an extremely high-value target in our fight against the Resistance. You will be hearing from needless to say, you'll be hearing from our Inquisitors soon, but this is, for those of you who don't know, a Miraluka who is a Force user. We believe this to be a surviving Jedi, as they are not registered with the Empire as an Inquisitor. So we do not have a name to this face. However, we do have images of this person from various parts of the planet where there's been suspicious activity. So please, as you are going out on your missions, be aware and keep a lookout for this person. He taps the table again, and a picture of a Quarren appears. A Quarren is a humanoid,
Kind of
except
squid
for
person.
yes, the squid person. So it looks like they have a squid as their head, with kind of tentacles for almost like a beard, almost. But they don't look
Mouth
like
They're like
slash
Zoidberg.
beard.
they don't feel like, yes, they look, it looks like Zoidberg, but
Oh,
not
great.
quite as much. So
Few less tentacles.
yeah,
No.
and he says, we don't have a name for this one either, but we know that this Quarren is responsible for, or is one of the main recruiters for the rebel cells here on Jannundal. And we
Is he an older Quarren?
know he looks to be of middle age. Why?
Because I took part in the Battle of Mon Cala, and I was wondering if he would have been one of the military commanders of the column or the Quarren at the point in time in which the Battle of Mon Cala happened.
No, he
Oh.
appears younger than that. We don't have a name for this one either, but he appears to be a recruiter for the rebel cells here on Jannundal. And he taps the table again and he says, these files have been, all available files have been copied over to your database here in your compound, and you'll be free to browse them at any time. So now you can hunt the two of the 6, we'll call them rebel bosses, and only when you eliminate or capture whatever, when you deal with one, will another be unlocked. And your goal is to eliminate / capture all 6 of your targets before the rebels get theirs. So if you want to ask me any questions about the two...
Are our targets their players?
No, actually,
Okay.
no. No.
That would be dope.
That'd be screwed up. We capture one and they're out for the rest of the campaign.
No, but they are people that they meet though. So as a matter, like,
So like
they have
liaison for us?
they have met one of the characters that I just briefed you on.
What is our liaison's name again?
Your liaison's
Tash.
name is Tash. T-A-S-H.
So is he one of theirs? Like,
No.
do we have to take out their handler as the last boss?
No. Maybe. No. 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 I'm gonna go with no. No.
I take that as a yes.
Maybe. No. 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 Okay. So because of the way that the not the questioning, because of the way that the questioning went, we're gonna do one last scene specifically with not Morgan, with Ghoul, and if you want to get any of the other 5 to help you set up kind of like how you introduce yourself to this this know-it-all of street dealings and like the ins and outs, the one that's supposedly going to help you smuggle some guns out of or off world, then get them to help you. But if not, then we'll do that scene and then we'll depart for the evening.
Considering that I usually work alone, I don't know how I would work with a team. I don't know how I'd work with a backup.
Bodyguard.
No. Especially not when it's someone as conspicuous as Hyde. That's a definite no.
Hi, this is my pet Reek.
I think it's a horrible idea going in alone, but I think that'd be the only option I've got.
It'd be a horrible idea, but it's the best we got.
Yeah.
Maybe we should wait to meet them.
So you want to wait? You can either do it today, or you can do it tonight, or you can wait till next time, maybe. Creed, I don't quite understand what the good intel perk is. Could you please elaborate and tell me what that is?
I mean, I was asking you because I don't fucking know.
Oh my god. What class are you playing?
Nice.
You're playing
Professional. The professional
I mean,
doesn't know what he's doing.
Very professional.
I am the most professional person here.
In some
You're
sense.
so professional you called a missile strike on your own squad.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
thanks for that,
expendable.
by the way. Here, I'll heal you. I'm
Well,
not letting go
you
of that.
ran to the wrong person. You ran to
You
Morgan.
said, come heal me!
Yes, to me, not to Morgan. You ran to Morgan.
Ah.
Yeah.
I did ask who
Have
said
point.
that, and nobody responded.
I said me.
He did say
I did not do that.
What do you want to spend it on? Because I will treat this as you get to ask me one question. You get to ask me one question and I will answer it honestly. And you can acquire another piece of good intel through what means I don't know, but you can acquire another piece of good intel to ask me a single question and I will answer honestly. And it must be a yes or no question.
Is the squid person the one the other team met?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's set the scene. This is a dark alleyway. It's a little past midnight local time, and you are Ghoul. You are disguised as a Zabrak, I believe, and a Zabrak is a Darth Maul race, I believe.
Yep.
Okay, you are dressed as, or not dressed, you are disguised as a Zabrak in smuggler's garb, and you approach a doorway that you were told to go to by the intel that you got from the bartender, and you knock on the door, and a slit on the door slides open. Then it slides shut and the door hisses open. You step inside and the door slides shut behind you, and in front of you stands this human woman dressed in it looks like it was a mechanic's like get up at one point, but has since been covered by a long coat and She looks like her garb looks as though she's been through hell a couple of times over, and she carries herself with an air of just ruggedness. She looks you over and says, "You the one that wants to get weapons off world?"
Honestly, I'm surprised you're as blunt as you are, but yeah.
She nods, says, "Then I'm the one you're gonna want to talk to. What's your name?"
Stuco.
Good. The name's Falkro, and she tosses you a blaster. Laswell Falkro. You're gonna need this.